This is Life in the 1900s newspapers. We are in the roaring 20s, and we'll be reading the actual words from a 1920s newspaper. And we will be talking about flappers, flappers, flappers. Some of the most famous flappers of the era were that multi-talented singer and dancer Josephine Baker, the girl with it, Clara Bow, the most photographed flapper, Louise Brooks, and of course, the effervescent Colleen Moore. Today's American hometown newspaper is the Martinsburg Journal from Martinsburg, West Virginia, dated August 27, 1929. Let's get the party started. What is a flapper? Well, she is often a young lady who is intent on having a good time and flouts conventional standards of behavior. First news article is about a lady who, by flying her airplane, must be a flapper. Phoebe Omley wins 50-mile plane race, Cleveland, October 27th. Phoebe Omley, Birmingham, Alabama, won the 50-mile airplane race for women here with an average speed of 113.8 miles per hour. Spaniard introduces his Autogiro to U.S. The invention of Juan de Clerva, Spaniard, the Autogiro shown above has been brought to the United States for demonstrations. The inventor claims for its ability to take off or land in a much smaller space than an airplane and maneuver as much sharper angles in the air. Here's a 1928 newsreel of the Autogiro in action and in failure. 20s newspaper comic, Bringing Up Father.
You don't mean to tell me you approve of that bathing suit on daughter?
Oh, stop growling. Why don't you talk to her? I can't control her. She is getting more like you every day.
By golly, I will talk to her, and I've got something to say to her. Now you listen to me. That bathing suit shows your figure almost as plain as if you had nothing on.
Well, what of it? I'm not deformed.
Arr!
In the 1920s, as well as famous flappers, there were also infamous flappers. This is flapper Catherine Zoberlein, who, with her boyfriend, held up a man with a gun that was actually a candy holder. And here is Rebecca Rogers, otherwise known as the Flapper Bandit, who held up a Texas bank. When she was arrested, she started laughing and said, "I have a lot to live down, but not as much as those men who let a little girl rob them with an empty gun." And lastly, Violet Dickerson, who robbed a store in Syracuse, New York. People at the time thought these young lady flappers who wanted to wield guns just needed a good spanking. In fact, did you know that in the 20s, if a girl was under the age of 21, they didn't believe on sending a woman to jail, so they believed that the best punishment would be a spanking from their parents, and it became a thing. They thought these girls who wear lipstick and had short skirts probably didn't get punished enough when they were a child. In fact, here's a poem about it. They have got a flapper slapper in a staid New Jersey town. As a spanker, this official is in line for much renown. But his business is so rushing that the job has lost its charm. For the first day he went at it, he most paralyzed his arm. Now he wants assistant spankers who can bend a wicked knee, for the flappers are as numerous as the sands along the sea. Here's an article on the sports page. New York, August 27th. Umpiring behind the plate and announcing probably will be one and the same job henceforth at the Polo Grounds. At the game between the Giants and the Pirates, Cy Rigler, the heroically built arbiter, adjusted his mask at the plate, touched a metal disc with his spikes, and sent his announcement of the batteries to even the most remote sections of the vast baseball plant through a series of amplifiers. A wire connects the umpire's spikes with a microphone in his mask. The spike, touching the metal disc in the ground, forms contact with a wiring system which carries the voice of the speaker to amplifiers throughout the park. Balls and strikes are to be called over the network. More than 1.5 million cattle will contribute to the making of 2 huge airships, which are to be built for the United States Navy. The animals are required for the gold beater's skin, which is obtained from them and which is used for making the gas bags of the airships. Here's an unusual article. Scott accent contagious. English purists are roused over a curious situation which has arisen in some of the market towns of Essex. So many Scottish farmers have settled in the district that slowly but surely the lowland Scots accent is taking the place of native English. Let's see what famous flappers are playing in the movies today. At the Apollo Theater, the coolest place in town, is Alice White, all talking, singing, and dancing in Broadway Babies. Oh boy, what lines! She has 'em, you'll see 'em. She says 'em, you'll hear 'em. Coming tomorrow, one day only, The Doctor's Secret, with John Loder, Robert Edison, H.B. Warner, and Ruth Chatterton.
I've been thinking about you, Daddy, thinking of you night and day. I've been afraid that you'd leave me, Daddy, leave me to go far away. Think of the day when we first met each other. You promised me then we'd be good pals forever. Dear, if you leave me, it sure will grieve me. Don't go away to stay. Don't leave me, Daddy. Won't you tell me why you're leaving? When you're near me, dearie, life to me is cheery. Oh, such a thing. Think what you're missing. Lots of hugging and some kissing. I don't care how mean you are to me. Daddy, don't you leave me now, sweet Papa. Daddy, don't you leave me now. Don't leave me, Daddy. Won't you tell me why you're leaving? When you're near me, dearie, life to me is cheery. Oh, such a feeling.